Today's video is sponsored by TezLab.
The Tesla Model X is the largest, most expensive vehicle that Tesla carries. It's also the fastest vehicle in its class. Now, it hasn't seen a refresh for quite some time until recently. So today we're going to be looking at a brand new 2022 Tesla Model X versus the previous generation Model X to see what are the differences, what has changed, and whether you should order a new one and wait like some of you are, or whether you can get a great deal on a previous Gen 1. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's start with the exterior. The first thing you'll notice is that between the old Model X and the new Model X, the lighting system has gotten brighter, but secondary is the fog lights. So the fog lights used to be this vertical design, and now they've gone to a horizontal design to match the Model Y and Model 3. The next thing to call out is the gap here. On the old Model X, this was an intake into the HEPA air filter system, and on the new Model X, it's actually blocked off, so it doesn't need that anymore. You'll also notice the trim. On the old Model X was a chrome trim, and on the new Model X, everything has been blacked out from the front to the back, anywhere where there was chrome trim, except for the Tesla badges. Now let's go over to the rear. Now, Tesla recently updated their charge port door, but between these two models, you'll see they're identical. They open the same and they look the same, but Tesla recently updated this to better reflect what's found in the Model 3 and Y, and is coming to the new Tesla Model S. It's a bigger, more prominent charge port door and taillight. All right, the next big difference is found in the frunk area. Now, in the old Model X, I have here an official Tesla mat, and it fits perfectly in the old Model X. Now, if I try to take this and put this in the refreshed Model X, yeah, you don't even want to see what happens. The entire front area is folded up. So I guess it's safe to say that the old Model X frunk is much bigger than the new Model X. However, in the old Model X, you've got two lights on the interior that help illuminate the inside. On the new Model X, you've just got one emergency amber light. But there is a cool storage space for a tow hook on the new Model X. The next thing is found underneath the frunk, which is the 12-volt battery. Previously, the 12-volt battery was a lead-acid battery, and now we've got a lithium-ion battery, which is much better for the vehicle. Now, on the old Model X, the only way to access the vehicle was via a key fob. So as you approach the vehicle or you press the key fob, the doors would automatically open. On the new Model X, you can still use your key fob, but now you have the option of using NFC or Bluetooth. So you can use your phone or a Tesla key card to enter your vehicle and start it, which makes it way more convenient. Okay, as we jump into the interior of the vehicle, you'll notice a big change on the door panel. On the old door panel, there was no really handle, there was like this cup, as well as these physical switches to roll the windows up and down. Door pocket is still present there, but here's how the old one looked. Let's go ahead and take a look at what they did in the 2020 Model X refresh. Now, on the Model X refresh, you'll notice it's a far more simpler, cleaner look, and that's because a lot of the stuff is controlled by the touchscreen. So your locking windows and your door locks and your adjustments to your wheel and mirrors are now on the touchscreen, like the Model 3 and Y and S. And so here, all that's present is a touch capacitive button to open and close the door, some nice matte black finish on the windows, and an oh crap handle to hold on to when you're hitting those ludicrous speeds. Other than that, it's a very clean, nice door on the refresh. Now, on the refresh Model X, it doesn't matter what configuration, performance or not, you always get aluminum pedals, whereas previously you had to buy a performance vehicle to get the aluminum pedals. Okay, with the refreshed Model X, the cabin lights and the puddle lights have now been upgraded to these round lights that aren't as user upgradable as the old models, but hopefully the aftermarket companies will create one soon.
Now, we all know that Tesla's supercharging network is by far the best, but it is lacking a lot of information that us as users could benefit from. And that's where today's sponsor, TezLab, comes in. Now, TezLab, you've heard me talk about them before, is an app that unlocks a slew of information and details about your vehicle. It also gives you a wealth of information about superchargers. As users, it allows you to submit reviews and information and details, tips and tricks to share with the community about superchargers. Things of like, how are the bathrooms? This app allows people to share information like they would on Yelp about the cleanliness of the bathrooms. How many stalls are there? Is there food nearby? What's the best food? What's something to order? Not only that, but it also allows you to upload videos. These are called zaps. Here's a zap that I recently recorded and posted on a brand new supercharger that's right by my house over in Union City that just opened up.
All right, Union City V3 supercharger. There's 10 stalls. There's even stalls to pull in, forward, and super cool and convenient. And then there's all kinds of shopping. There's Safeway, big grocery.
So that's TezLab, an amazing app, an amazing tool that unlocks so much information and knowledge about your vehicle and Tesla's supercharging network to make sure that you have a better trip when you're road tripping. Check them out. Use the link down below to check out TezLab, and let's get back to the video. Okay, when it comes to the front interior between the vehicles, quite a lot has changed. In the previous gen Model X, you had a 17-inch vertical display. You also had the instrument cluster, a pretty traditional standard wheel, 3 stalks on the vehicle. You had a center console and old-fashioned vents that what we're used to. But a lot has changed in 2022 with the refresh Model X. Let me show you. In 2022, the refresh Model X took a drastic change on the interior. Now you're presented with the most significant changes in the steering wheel. This is the yoke steering wheel. You either love it or hate it, but it's here to stay. It's got touch capacitive buttons, no stalks at all. You still have your instrument cluster, and your center console is now, it's still 17 inches, but now it's in landscape. So it's better for viewing things, and it's got an overall higher resolution screen. The other thing to call out is wireless chargers, which were not present in previous Model X's. As we go into the center console, you've got tons more storage space, and now actual storage space in the armrest, which you didn't have before, and more room to rest your elbow. Also, the vent system has completely changed. They no longer exist. They're hidden in a bladeless system similar to the Model 3 and Y, and now the new Model S. Now, Tesla has always offered heated seats in all of their models, but only the X and S have had ventilated, cooled seats. But Tesla's Model X has not had ventilated cooling seats since 2016, but it's come back in the 2022 model, and I'm very happy about that. Now, on the old Model X, the rear leaves not much to be talked about except for the center console here. You've got vents, and then you've also got 2 USB-C ports. Now, on previous models before that, there'll be USB-A ports. And then when you jump into the third row, you'll find a USB-A port back there too. It's just one, though, for whoever's sitting back there. Now, jumping into the 2022 refresh Model X, quite a lot has changed in the back. Let's start with the most glaring, which is this display. Now, this display allows the passengers in the rear to control their HVAC, their heated seats, and the HVAC is actually built right into the screen. There's no physical vents. It also allows them to watch YouTube, play music. There are USB-C charging ports back here, as well as for the third row, there are 2 USB ports as well. Not only that, there's 2 additional physical viewable speakers that are right up on the roof in between the Falcon doors. So the experience in the second and third rows on the refresh Model X is bound to be a little bit better than the previous gen. Believe it or not, the Tesla Model X has never had a coat hook. Yes, it's surprising in over a $100,000 vehicle, but guess what? In 2022, they've finally included it. Not 1, but 2 on either side behind the second row. Keep in mind, any other year prior to the most recent Model X, you won't have coat hooks. So it's a good thing to know. Let's go check out the trunk.
Now, when it comes to the trunk, not much has changed, but there are a couple callouts. One, there are now these side cubbies, which were non-existent in the previous Model X versions. And the second is this soft coating that's on the trunk lid. I'm assuming that's used to dampen the sound. Now, they've changed the lighting that's back here. It's not as bright and it's not user replaceable as of right now. But that's all that's really changed in the trunk as far as the Model X is concerned. Okay, so the question is which is the right Model X for you? Do you go with the last year's model? Like we showed you, if you're okay with the differences, you could actually take delivery of this today. Sure, you're gonna get 20 less more miles, but you're gonna save $20,000 and you receive it today. Whereas if you want the latest and greatest and you wanna go with the 2022 Model X refresh, you can order it, but you're not gonna take delivery till January 2023. So I'm curious to know, what do you think? What would you go with? Let me know down in the comments and consider liking this video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time.